Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, as the title suggests, Sammy Brady returns on Days of Our Lives. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when she returned the last time I was sitting there watching the show, she seemed like she was gonna be an interesting character, and somewhere along the line, she started to get on my damn nerves. But nonetheless, she is there, and we're gonna sit there and talk about it, as well as all the other five, as well as all the other four soap operas. At this point, I'm not going to bother to say them. But sit there and get in the roll call and get this started. Amy's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Clyde Wan's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Blackmon, aka Mr. GQ's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Monique is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Duwan is in the chat. How you doing tonight? I did love how it corrected. Monique, I'm not gonna lie. Part of me did laugh at how it corrected because see, Monique put Abras on computer people time. Crystal's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Hope everyone had a great day. I'm just gonna sit there. I'm just gonna sit there and say right off the rip that you know, five soap operas is definitely gonna change some stuff for the streams. Definitely gonna change some stuff for the streams. Because even yesterday, it wasn't like I took a night off. I didn't take a night off. I'm going to be honest. I didn't get done with the shows until 10 o'clock at night. There was no rest time or anything like that, which just begs the question, you know, to actually take another day off. But usually I have Saturdays also, it's fine. But I'm doing good, Black Man. How you doing? Just seemed like a hell of a long. It just seems it was a good day. It was just these five shows is definitely a challenge. Fun challenge, but it's still a challenge nonetheless. What's good, Sean? How are you doing tonight? Well, that's not. Okay, that's not. I love when StreamYard just starts doing shit and then like, okay, I mean I can't fucking delete it here. That's awesome. Okay, that's cool. There we go. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm good. I'm doing good, Sean. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I do not need to hear my own voice. But I'm doing good, Dom. I'm doing good. It was a good day because I was off from work, so I count that as a good day. Monique says Natalia can accept that her kids are gay. I'm glad Marco pointed out she never accepted him for who he is. Yes, exactly. Either it being his sexuality or it's being um his job. Like the minute that she came in, she already started with that nonsense. I'm like, Duane says Deacon and Carr seemed like the fight could have had a decent fight, but most of it was during the commercials. It was actually pretty. You know what? Listen, I would sit there and say this much. It was actually pretty good. Uh, Okay, there we go. It was actually, for a soap opera fight, it was actually good. And you know what? Listen, that a lot of that goes to Sean Caden. A lot of that goes. What's good, Ed? Yes, no, Sean Caden. I mean, yeah, Sean Caden is a badass. Well, I mean, of course it was scripted, Sean. You didn't think they were actually going to be snipped there? Yes, yes, Monique. And I don't know if I did a review. I think I did a review yesterday, but yes, Carter held his own. So I give him his props. One says Sean Caden and Lawrence Victor are black belts in real life. Yes. Well, I didn't know that. I know that Sean Caden is, but yeah, Ed, I'm not gonna lie. I called him Mike Barnes at that point. He listen, every time he starts acting like that, this is what we're gonna sit there and call him, Ed. We're gonna call him Mike Barnes. Um, he was in Deacon Sharp today. Well, thank you, Ed. It was like I said, don't get me wrong. Like I'm not gonna. Well, I would just sit there and say it was good. I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking, but it was good. But I mean, let's be honest. He was definitely out of pocket. Deacon was definitely out of pocket for so many reasons. Also, let's just sit there and get this out the way now. Um, One, make sure you hit the like button as you're coming in because it really does help. It recommends new people onto the channel. Um, Also, number two, while there is 17 people in this chat, there is only one of me. I am not going to get to every single comment, so just understand that, and just be cool. Monique said Deacon wouldn't have hit Carter if what he said wasn't true. And then he started going in on Daphne because Daphne walked in. Daphne was like, yo, listen, you want to come here and try to defend your daughter's honor, but she doesn't have any honor. And the way Deacon looked at her, I'm like, Deacon, what are you going to do? You're going to hit her now? I mean, don't get me wrong, what Daphne said today did annoy me. It definitely did annoy me. Gorgeous Queen Janice in the chat. How are you doing tonight? I hope all is well with you. We were just not there talking about Born the Beautiful. Um, Today's episode of The Gates was decent. It was better than yesterday's episode. I don't know what I feel like they had another plan for Born the Beautiful. I mean, for Beyond the Gates yesterday, and it just didn't happen. It really did not happen. Sammy says, I didn't know Carter was a real life martial art. Yeah, the chat told me that. And I noticed they usually update languages too with they update language to with Alex saying that he was being a simp. Yes, yes. I saw that too. I'm glad you noticed that. Good eye. Tyrese, did you hear the Born a Beautiful got renewed for 3 more years? Most of that club was for the fact that I don't want any soap opera to get canceled. I saw your stream yesterday. Are you streaming tonight? I saw your stream yesterday. I saw your stream yesterday. Right, Duan? Taiwan says Christina and Lucky together by a fair so they can finally get to be the one that cheats on by Lucky. What? Yeah, I did. I saw that. What's good, Mika? Yeah, I saw. Mika, how have you been? Ronnie Ron. Ronnie Ron is in the chat. Sean says Jason and Anna. Yep. And I'm here for it. Steffi was giving. See the thing about Steffi. Steffi was in there giving off wifey energy. And Steffi's going to sit there and come at Bill half cocked, literally. Have information essentially. At least I had a fair warning that was coming. I was boiling for hours. Yes. Yeah. No, I saw that. I saw. Um. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to deal with that for a little bit. Yeah. I saw. I have no idea, Ron. Like I don't know. I don't I don't I don't understand how that's a question. I don't know JJ long enough to really qualify to answer that question. It was bad, Kyrie's. It I felt like they had a different plan for for that episode. Yeah, no, me, Cobb, I'm good. It's good to see you again. As says I said it again. I'm over Christina acting like she's 17 still. We gonna get into that too. Eagle Finn says, I'm down with Lucky. He really blew his second chance with Liz by not telling Christina and by not turning Christina into the police. Yeah. Ed, you're awesome. Thank you for answering that. Monique says, it just wasn't a good episode. It wasn't a good episode. You know, guys, that's just what it came down to. Um but see the thing is, I will say this much, guys. I don't This is something I'm starting to understand about Beyond the Gates. Like, okay, so Kyrie, so let's look at it this way. This episode, the episode yesterday didn't do anything for me. It didn't do anything for you. Wino was actually good. Me confident. Wino was actually I enjoyed Wino. I've enjoyed Wino yesterday and today was actually good too. Okay, Monique says I understand Martin's point. As a parent, you can't stand by and do nothing. But Ted also has a point. Let him handle it on his own. If they need you, they can help out. But see, the thing is, so the episode yesterday at the end when Chelsea was not there saying all those nice things to Danny and stuff, and it seemed like it was a really good moment. It was a good moment for mothers and daughters, right? That's what that moment was supposed to sit there and showcase, like, you know, the lovingness and the tenderness and the kindness between mother and daughter. So it didn't resonate with me, didn't resonate with you because we're not mothers or daughters. So, you know, I'm starting to sit there and look at the show and be like, it just makes me think, who does this show, the show in this demographic audience, right? I read your comment, Ed, and then I'm gonna get to something else on Facebook, which is a problem. Okay, I'll get the Ron's comment after that, and then I'll do it. As says Albert, Ava's plan is going to backfire because wouldn't this be considered extortion and a crime? Yes. but the crime was still committed though, right? Like, yes, yeah, you're absolutely right about that. It is extortion, and that is a crime in itself. Yes. And that's something that Alexis could sit there and argue, but at the end of the day, would Alexis take the chance of that coming out? That's the thing. She's betting that she won't. What's good, Chelsea? Now, Ron says, what's your thoughts on Gabby and Christina throwing accusations at each other about who responsible for Pow Pow agent? My thoughts on it? I think they both had some valid points. I think both of them highlighted some valid points about why each other could have sat there and done over AJ. They both had valid points. And I was going to the doctor during G. Okay, so you didn't get a chance to watch it. But the one when you get, I mean, if you watch my review, hopefully you caught up, or you know, I'm starting to wonder who is Beyond the Gates for in a sense. Like, I have an idea, but like, I hope it stays long term because I saw a lot of people on Facebook that they're shitting on Beyond the Gates, which is whatever, fine. Um, This makes me wonder, like, I said that in my head when I first started watching soap operas, even before then, I always sit there and think that soap operas was for older people. Um, um, I always felt like it was for older people, right? It's clearly not the case because there's a lot of people in here that are younger age watching it. Like you look at an episode today, and I'm kind of just like, does this actually hit for older people? You know what I'm saying? Like, does this resonate with an older crowd? The dialogue and everything like that, you know, the influencer stuff, maybe the fashion, but like the influencer stuff, like I don't see older grandmas that they're really kind of sitting down to watch this stuff. What's good, wink, wink? Will says, I think they're trying to pull in a younger audience, but nobody they tr- trying to, but nobody they trying to attract watches soaps. Only kids who have moms or grandparents that do. Harry says, I felt vindicated. How many times do you say Natalia changed? She learned, she grown from it. And I said she didn't. She just got what she wanted. I was proven right. What do you mean you were proven right? How were you proven right? I don't understand how you were proven right, but okay. What's good, Queen of the South? How you doing tonight? The thing is with Natalia, we gotta sit there and think about when he came out when he said he was gay and how she had a problem with it, right? Yeah, she had a problem with it. She's still the same. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna get to people's comments. How are you doing tonight, Queen of the South? And I'm just gonna answer this and we're just gonna move on. With the whole Natalia thing, when she was like when he said that he came out and she had a problem with it and she was like, yeah, I'm sorry for the way I handled it. She handled it very shitty back then. She never said that she had a problem with it now. She said that she handled it terribly back then, that she wished that she would have handled it better. So she didn't sit there and say like, I don't want you to be gay. she said that she handled the way he came out um terribly. Now she's still the same control freak in a sense because she's kind of shitting on his career, and just saying that he's wasting his talents where he could be doing music. But that doesn't sit there and prove that she's the same homophobic person that she was. That's my interpretation of what I saw. But you know, Ryan says, "Do you think that Belle is under the same Demara spell, just like Brady? They are the same." I wouldn't sit there and say a spell, but I mean, she is in love, so it's not entirely the same. So I wouldn't sit there and say a spell. As says Albert, at this point, I'm the Kai's parents and backstory focus on because I don't want him to become another Dex or Rory, which were a placeholder. That's true. What's good, Tommy? Yuan says the kids that probably tried to reach probably watched Little on BMD. I want to go back to what Wink said, and thank you for joining tonight, Wink. Okay, I'm going to go back to the other one. Wink says, I think they're trying to pull in a younger audience, but nobody they're trying to attract watches soaps. Only kids who have moms or grandparents that do. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe they're missing their mark. YNO is actually good today. I was sit there and say YNO is actually good today. Um, yeah, no, Ed, you said that already. Um, no, I read that comment. I don't understand why you said it again. I feel like Phyllis is going to be a problem. I feel like Phyllis is going to be a problem because there was one point where she sat there and said, "Oh well, I think that chance to sit there and let you slide on, your feelings towards or your time to sit there and take towards your feelings towards Kyle because he arrested you." But it seems like she's up there taking. It seems like she's taking what you call his side. It seems like she's taking Summer's side, and I feel like she's going to start to get an attitude um towards Chance, and I'm like, if Chance wants to sit there and walk away from Summer because Summer is still have her conflicting feelings um towards Kyle, then that's his choice. And her mouthing off is like, bro, why don't you sit there and mind the business that pays you? Mind the goddamn business that pays you. Janice says not feeling Smitty and Martin at all, no chemistry. Harriet says she flat out said it. He said it doesn't matter how happy I am, you still don't approve. You pushed away Allie because of your bigotry views, and we still have the same argument. She said, I don't approve. Of your choice, what would you want me to lie that Carrie says, of your choosing, what would you want to lie that her words, I guess we watched. different scenes, but she's the same. I stand on business with that. Got to get going. Yes, you have a great stream. I don't know. Like I said, that's how I interpreted it. But Mikab said, tell him. Wink said, I'm glad Chance done summer. What man, okay, what man wants a woman who's obsessed with her ex? Exactly. That's what I'm sitting there saying. So, like, but that's the thing though with Phyllis. Phyllis loves to sit there. Phyllis loves to sit there and placate to what you call it. She loves to sit there and placate her daughter. My gorgeous queen cat lady, 35 in the chat, hit the like button or dislike button. It helps the channel either way. I love her. Isn't that what do you think Josh versus Sami will be? I have no idea. And I have no idea. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are guessing it's going to be about Sonny or Jason, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Jason knew something was. Oh, yes, yes, that's yeah. Because he was asking questions, and I have a feeling like he felt like she didn't know what she was talking about. But yeah, no, that's just insane. Like that shit is insane. I don't know. I mean, just to kind of get back to Kyrie's point, like I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel like she was the same homophobic person that she was. I felt she was the same control freak that she's always been. But I don't know. I feel like when people, the problem is, I feel like when people watch stuff sometimes, they kind of watch with their feelings. They don't actually necessarily listen to the words that they're actually saying. And that's the problem. Like a lot of times I'll sit there, 1 second, Ron. That's the problem. A lot of times when I sit there and I do a review or I say something, people don't listen to the words that I'm saying. They're just listening with their emotions. Like, my God, sometimes it makes for a very annoying conversation. This guy and feelings. I'm gonna tell you about it in a second after I read the 10,000 comment that Ron wrote. What's good, Darby? Ron says, I'm so effing tired of this adoption BS. Also, Sophia is too soft, and Amy needs to put her damn foot down and have a serious conversation with her daughter. I just don't care at this point. I really don't care. I don't care about this adoption. I did feel that great, that Doug was right as far as Kate acting like an oversensitive little crybaby and a tattletale. And I'm like, bro, that ain't your girl anymore. Wink says, I think you get annoyed when people oppose you. No, no, I don't. Wink, what I get annoyed is when people don't listen to what I say. You can disagree with me, and that's totally fine. But when I feel like people don't listen to what I say, that's when there's an issue. Because it's like, that's not what I said. And somewhere along the lines, things get lost in translation. And so it's like sometimes when we talk, it's like, okay, fine, if I have to clear something up, whatever, fine. But Carlos is always trying to make us normal people feel crazy about his meltdowns. First of all, I don't have meltdowns. So I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I don't have meltdowns. Well, I don't understand why you keep saying that. Like, let's not let's start with the lies at this point. Darby says isn't Ty wrong for wanting her children to be heterosexual and have grandchildren like other grandmothers? Have you seen a green vegetable? Good point. Good point, Wayne. Wait, hold on. And what's good, Lady V? I don't. I understand. I understand why you sit there and act like that. You want to see a cat lady. You want to see somebody crash now. Was you in Kyrisa's stream yesterday? Like no. Fuck that for a hot minute. Cat lady, did you I don't think you know what a crash out moment is. Maybe sit there and watch the first 10 minutes of Kyrisa's stream and then we'll sit there and compare notes. Isn't Natalia wrong for wanting her children to be heterosexual? Yes. Yes, Darby, it is because it should be up to her children. What did you really just okay. I'm sorry. I'm just I didn't try to drop the F bomb, but I'm just gonna think okay, well, Cat Lady, why don't you go and watch Kyrisa's stream from yesterday and then you can sit there and compare what an actual crash out moment is. But yes, that's wrong, Darby. Because it should be up to the children on what they want, not her. She doesn't get to sit there and dictate her children's lives and want them to be heterosexual and like F her and her grandchildren what she wants. Like Natalia can want what she wants. Darby, are you trolling me with this comment? Are you trolling? Anyway, anyway, my love, we're gonna move on from that. And you should sit down and watch the first 10 minutes of Kyrie's stream yesterday, and then we can compare notes. Tell me what a crash out moment is. Ed says Ted and Danny's scenes were good. Oh, Dana's scenes were good, but I'm ready for that anniversary party, and I like the tension around the photos almost being seen. Trevor says Deacon needs to go. Deacon needs to get rid of Reg. Wayne says parents get to live their life. They have to let their kids make their own choices. Thank you, Wayne. I don't know, Darby. I don't know. I mean, you're right and wrong at the same time. No, Darby, I'm right. But I mean, I respect your opinion. I just felt like it was a little And the thing is, Darby, it's not so much that she wants what she wants is the problem. It's that she is judgmental about the way that her kids choose to live their life. It's not so much like, okay, she may want grandchildren, she may want her children to be heterosexual, but they're not, and that's fine. She needs to accept that and understand that instead of sit there saying the things that she says and acting the way that she acts. You feel that Natalia is selfish. I feel that she's selfish in the way she's going about it. Monique says Natalia should have said, I didn't ask for Gay's son, but I'm glad he is living his truth, and I respect that. God damn. Thank you, Monique. What's the reason? No, I, so I need to be honest about that, Ron? I Yes, I agree with you somewhat. Yeah. Um, Tommy says Eva needs to tell the truth to Ted. Okay, this is my issue. The way that they've been handling the last past couple of episodes of Beyond the Gates have just been insane. So they skip a part where it is the Unrest review and Beyond the Gates. I didn't have time, Tommy. I I really didn't. I didn't have time to do Bold and the Beautiful review. And I would have loved to do a Young and the Restless review. But it was no time. Trust me, Tommy, you know when I get some time, I'll definitely sit there and review The Young and the Restless. And that's another thing too. Like Bold and the Beautiful got pushed back because of a news interruption. So I had to sit there and watch it at 6 o'clock, which is really annoying. I don't know. I mean, like I said, the fact that there are five soap operas are definitely bringing new challenges. Ron Albert being honest, LOL. How come you know better? So the chat, this is my gorgeous queen cat lady. She is wifey. Okay. She is my sassy queen, and I love her. Why is she gonna sit there and take all the stuff that I said, ignore that, and then probably say a sassy comment afterwards? Um, but yeah, like I didn't understand the pacing of that. It's like they didn't show what happened to Eva. They didn't show what happened to Laura yesterday, right? Because they did the fashion show. And see that there was no drama yesterday. There was nothing yesterday to sit there and there was nothing. And then today she's fine. So what's that they're thinking? Was did Laura kill her? Did Laura unalive her? Nope. But now she has some sort of infection and she's going to be there longer. And now Eva is kind of upset because Nicole's like, hey, I'll set her up as far as being a hairdresser at the country club. But you knew this job was going to be permanent. Darby says she's not your wife yet. I will show her some diamonds. Sure. What bank would you like me to sit there and allegedly rob? Hmm? What bank do you got in mind? Allegedly. Wow, Ron, I'm a womanizer. Okay, that's okay. Well, you know, Darby, anything for my cat lady. Monique says apparently Willow overhears Danny and Sasha talking about Jason being the fact baby. Oh, the fact the baby being the fact baby daddy. Don't know if it's true. Monique, did you hear that on Facebook? Yo, Facebook got some issues. Facebook got some issues. Um, they did the same thing on GH. Car crash happens on Friday and didn't get back to what happened until Wednesday and Thursday. You had to follow up on Cliff. Exactly. And so, like, seeing Laura alive and just being like she's kind of bored and she's ready to go out the hospital. I'm like, the cliffhanger went nowhere. This is the problem. It was like, it's like, I was sit there and say it's like on Beyond the Gates. It was like the wedding scene. Remember when Danny brought out the pow pow? He brought out the pow pow. Nothing happened. No one got hurt. No one got plugged. Nothing. I don't know. It's weird because, and I'm gonna sit there and say that this is fake news. This isn't real. This is a bad lie. Somebody put out on Facebook, one of those spoiler channels put out that Young and the Restless is going to get canceled because Beyond the Gates is actually, killing them in ratings. So what do people do? Well, the whole comment section, all people are doing is like they're shitting on Beyond the Gates. It's bad. It's terrible. It's this guy is the third. It's not even true. But people are so stupid that they don't bother to sit there and check their Googles, and they're just believing everything that they're saying. You just trolling. Maybe you should get a couple cutout of her lookalike. Ron, I already have a couple of cardboard cutouts of her lookalike. I keep breaking them, Ron. That's the problem. You want to give me some money so I can get some new ones? Wink said that post did what it was meant to do. Yep, you're correct, Wink. Monique says you can't always expect your children to be the way you want them to be as long as they are happy and living in their truth. That's what that matters. Exactly, Monique. Ain't that right, Darby? I'm like, bro. I love how you sat there and said I stand on that. And I'm like, bro, no one's sitting there like not telling you what to think. I'm telling you my interpretation of it. Like you can think what you want to think about the character. It's not gonna sit there and make me lose my sleep over it, but that's not what I interpreted. Where's this thumbnail for tonight? Huh, there we go. What's good, Dolomedics? How are you doing tonight? Says if Dana, aka Leslie, is going to be a villain, let her. And this soap needs to stop setting things up and not following through. Yeah, let her be an actual villain. Kelly said this is why it's no new curtains. Yeah, because you got 99 bottles of Kool-Aid to keep up. Somebody's going to get straightened out when they come over here. I'll tell you that much. Somebody's going to get straightened out. I tell you that much. Mm-hmm. What's good, Dolomedics? How are you doing tonight? No, Ron, that sounds like a stupid story. I don't want both of them to get pregnant. They sound like a dumb story. What's good, Kevin? Do Sheila and Luna kidnap Steffi since Jacqueline is leaving? That'd be kind of interesting. That'd be kind of interesting. But yeah, it's weird though. Oh wow, damn, Ron, that sounds so devious. That sounds so devious. Well, to be honest, I am actually a little vindictive, so I guess devious wouldn't be that far off. Dory says Albert has been. Dory, you stop it. I'll go over there and get you. Go over there and make you some damn oatmeal. Dominic says, remember, we don't want Leslie to go full Sheila on Heather. Then you got to figure out a reasonable. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's very true, Dominics. That's true. But you know, though, Max, maybe they could do something a little bit different, though. Maybe instead of just bringing, okay, here's an idea. Maybe instead of pulling a B&B and just bringing back Sheila, maybe they just get a new villain. Maybe they let Leslie unalive this girl or unalive somebody and just get a new villain. You know, be creative. Because I'm going to be honest, let me tell you something. I almost want to do a review, except I didn't have time, on Beyond the Gates. I think the writers, I think the director needs to be ashamed of what they put out yesterday. Okay? 'Cause I'm going to sit there and say this right now. That episode yesterday was the worst episode I think I saw all year of any soap opera, and that's saying something. Monique says Wyatt needs to be in a Liam Bill Luna storyline. He is probably the only one that can smack sense in the bell. Wow. Okay, Callie, that comes for you. Bobby says how she needs to know this person in the hospital, and she questions why Leslie didn't have a identification badge and picture and did not further. Yes, yes. I didn't. Here's the thing. Don't like no. I didn't. I didn't hate this. I didn't hate it. I just felt like it lacked everything. What's good, Susan? It's good to see you. No, I didn't. It just. It didn't. It lacked everything. It lacked drama. It was boring, and I mean the thing is, though, Max, when Y&R when B&B is actually a better episode, there's always a problem. I feel like the bar just went way, way, way down. Like it wasn't just a fashion show; it was the fashion show with no drama, no anything. It's good to see you, Susan. It's nice to have you back in the chat, Susan. Darby says, "Abba, I want grits, eggs, and bacon." No, Darby, you're gonna get oatmeal. Okay, that's what you're going to get. That's not how this works, Darby. How this works is that you're gonna get oatmeal, and then you're going to just you're gonna behave more better. If Abba shares pictures and have be nice. Okay, cat lady, I still love you, and it's good to see you, Susan. Oh, Susan, what have you been watching? I know that you. I'm assuming you watched General Hospital. If that's right, have you been watching The Gates? Have you watching Beyond the Gates? Oh, Darby, come on. You're sitting there saying like there's a choice no matter. There's not a choice. Oh, you've been watching all of them. Okay. That's a bold move. How's that been? You know, it's stuff like today that makes it difficult, right? So there was a news interruption around 1:30. So I had to sit there and watch it at 6. Oh shit, I gotta sit there and email you something too, Callie. Um, I can't be trusted, Ron. Wow, Ron, I thought we were friends. Duan says, "I hope I didn't ruin the show for you with my opinions." No, Duan, you didn't ruin it. If the show's gonna get ruined, it's not gonna be because of your opinions. Trust me. Bobby says Terrell getting bullied for wearing boxer shorts is so unbelievable. It's so unbelievable when I see people wearing boxer shorts. Thank you, Bobby. No, Darby, you're gonna get oatmeal. You're gonna get oatmeal with water. That's how I make my oatmeal. I make my oatmeal with boiling water and nothing else. And nothing else. My darling once sat there and said that I make it with no love. So that's how you're gonna get it. But yes, no, listen, Bobby is 100% correct. I'm like, it's so dumb. It's oh my god. Domex says, I feel yeah, I liked it, but I feel where you're coming from. It was more like Danny saying goodbye to Chelsea and sending yes, and see, let me tell you something, Domex. Um, yes, Susan. So you know what I'm talking about. That's what I had to deal with today. That's why I couldn't even do my B&B review. I was so annoyed. Plus, I hate feeling like Kylie says I feel sorry for the oatmeal, but it tastes amazing to me. But I eat oatmeal, I eat that stuff like every day. So, but Darby's gonna sit there and have it with water and nothing else. You also make your oatmeal with no taste either. It's gonna have water in it. It's gonna have hot water. That's what you're gonna have. But and that's the thing, though, Max. I just okay. So this is what I said before you got here. So I'll say this again. I felt like that part of the story was more for mothers and daughters. It just didn't resonate with me. Chelsea saying all the nice stuff to Danny and appreciating her. That was a great moment for people who are watching it that have daughters. But like, you know, it didn't resonate with me. Darby, I mean, you're saying it like you have a choice. I don't understand. Like where's the choice in this? Have a good night, Chelsea. It was great to see you. How a man cooks tells how a man cook tells a lot about their bedroom skills. Actually, it does not. Actually, it does not. Don't don't say that. Don't say that. That's actually not true. Exactly, bye. That's don't. We're just gonna pretend that she said something funny. You actually think so? Okay, Darby. Okay, you say so. Bobby says I will still watch Beyond the Gates, but they are tripping. I'll still watch it too. Um, this episode was a little bit better than yesterday's episode. You can tell that actually it doesn't. It doesn't. So so we should move on because it doesn't. And she just Cat Lady. Yeah, I know my daughter. She has a good sense of humor. Don't actually like get it. I'll say this. I think Beyond the Gaze kind of hit us with shocks the first week. We got a lot of monster stories. See, my Domex, this what brings me to my other point of view. Cat Lady, I love you. So you stop it. But this what brings me to my other point, though. So Domex says, I get it. I think Beyond the Gaze kind of shocked us, kind of hit us with shocks. It's funny. Janet says we need more love in the afternoon, which obviously I love loving in the afternoon. But one of the things that people sat there and bitched and complained about was the fact that they felt that Beyond the Gates had too many sex scenes. Yeah, yeah, that's something else that the people that didn't like Beyond the Gates, one person was like, they have too many sex scenes. Who is there to sit there and watch that? By the way, it doesn't. But like, that's something that some idiot actually said. But like Wayne said, it was more of a rage baiter sort of thing. Bobby says one time Arisa said that says less was the new lingo. It wasn't new lingo. I heard people on that before. Darby, you stop being a goddamn hater. She's already wifey at this point. Joanne says Alexis no Valentine stole Ava's money, so Alexis karma. You know, it's funny. I think it was Ed that sat there and said that if Ava goes to the police and says, about what Christina did, then Alexis could sit there and say, you know what, this woman is trying to extort me. Like that's a crime. What Ava's doing right now, extortion, that's a crime. What she's doing is a crime in itself. Filmex says, as long as a longtime Days fan, I saw another Days fan say Beyond the Gates look cheap. Beyond the Gates has got a lot of hypocritical criticism. Yes. Okay, so that's what I was going to sit there and say. I'll read your comment after on. That's what I was going to sit there and say to Max. So it made me wonder, was Beyond the Gates, did people like Beyond the first couple of weeks, did people like Beyond the Gates because it was good, or did people like Beyond the Gates because it was new? That's the question. Ron says, I'm your friend, I just don't like your womanizing ways. Cat Lady deserves to be treated like a princess. She deserves to be treated like a queen. Um, but I'm a womanizer? Wow, Ron. But see, that's the thing though, Max. It just makes me sit there and think like, was the show like? I feel like in some ways people could have got wrapped up in just how new and fresh it was. And now we're kind of sitting there saying like, okay, well, this show has its good and its ups and its bad points, but it just makes me wonder sometimes, like, was the show really good? Like, it has its good points and it has the good characters, but I don't know if the show is as exciting as people made it out to be. In a sense, I like the second week more than the first week. Bobby says. Delmax says, I think it's a little bit of the new Toy syndrome with Beyond the Gates, but I also believe it got some legitimate good writing. It's just not it's just not as plot driven as we have been used to seeing the last 10 years. That's okay. Okay, you got some points down next. As says I didn't get a chance to weigh in on Jada and Rafe. Rafe needs to forgive Jada because this is the first woman to fight for him. He's not a placeholder. Very true, Ed. Very true. Wow. Wow, Darby. Hey, well, that's good to know. Anyway, Darby, wasn't you at one point sitting there trying to look at my ass? That's what you were trying to do, right? I guess we just gonna. I'm still Darby. I am always your friend. Um, Even though you like to occasionally try to look at my ass, but seriously, cat lady, what's good, Amber? Susan says Ava is counting on Alexa to protect Christina. Yes, exactly, Susan. Yes, no, you're correct. She's a betting woman. Domex says, like, I watched GH off and on since the 90s. While I do love the show, I admit they got some really good actors and a nice budget, hiding some BS stories. Brockway says, stop being mean to. Oh, Brockway, nah, it's all good. It's love. It's love, Brockway. But it's good to have you though tonight. Domex says, and that said, that's not to knock GH, just saying all the soaps got some. No, absolutely. No, that's 100% correct, Domex. No, you're 100% correct. It just made me sit there and think about Bob Russick is fake. He's a troll. Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, they all have their good episodes, their bad episodes, and whatever. Yeah, Brockway. That's pretty much how we do it in the chat, for better or worse. Um, oh, hold on. I feel like I need to take a drink. Hold on. Hold on. Hmm. I need to look at your ass to distract me from seeing those god awful curves behind you. Okay, just gonna pin this comment real quick. What's good, Jonathan? Just give me 1 second. I need to do something real quick. The hell? Why is it not there? Seriously? What's good, Jonathan? Okay, that's good. I was trying. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I was actually trying to pin that comment, but fuck it. I'll just read it one more time. Darby said, "I need to look at your ass." We can just forget the rest of that sentence for a hot minute. Okay? Yeah, I didn't see the comment either. That's why I was there trying to. Wait, where's Darby's still there? Okay. I mean, I screenshotted it, but still. Oh my goodness. What in the hell? Okay. Dominic says that I've been doing squats or something. What's going on? All I heard was him Smith there saying, him finding a good reason to sit there and look at my ass. So, okay. All right, bro. Let's move away from that. So, okay. So, what else happened on. Oh, no, no, no. Listen, Darby, I'm always going to sit there and take that compliment because I know I have a cute ass, but that's beside the point, though. And I appreciate that. Thank you. And this is why we now have Batman background for life. Filmex says way to keep it tight, How you? Apparently so. Yes. Justin says, "What did you think of Beyond the Gates yesterday?" And today was better. Yesterday wasn't good. Yesterday was not good. I do a little bit of a workout, Domex, in the morning. So I do, but Jonathan, yesterday was boring. It was so boring. It was embarrassing. It was so embarrassing that I felt like yesterday's episode was the worst episode throughout this year of any soap opera. As says Beyond the Gates is getting the other soap operas to step up. Yes, that's true, and also add with the lack of diversity. Darby says Albert's been doing extra squats at the gym. Um, Hold on. Okay, we about to have a teachable moment in a minute. They have a trailer for Megan too, and I don't like the direction. Yeah, yeah. I want to doing a short video about it. It's yeah, and I don't. Yeah, I did a video on it, but it's. I like her humor, but the direction is I don't know what the hell they're doing. And hold on, let's all have a teachable moment here. Hold on. My darling says yesterday was better than today. What the f are you talking about? It is, Starry. It is. Okay, Kylie, I'm assuming that that was joking. You were joking. Domac says yes, it was definitely more about pretty people and nice clothes more than anything. And some folks love that. And so it's kind of like Dynasty back in the day. I can get the fashion. I can get that part, Domac. The fashion wasn't necessarily the problem. The problem is that it didn't have anything else. There was no drama. It's just soap opera. There was no drama. There was really no story. You know. Ron says, Why do you say that it's not a good storyline for both Luna and Sheila being pregnant at the same time? Ron, because nobody wants to sit there and see a 70-plus-year-old woman have a baby. And we just got Luna back. We now think they're trying to get her to be pregnant. That's why. Yeah, Jonathan, I saw it today. And thank you for, yes. It's always nice to sit there and have people to talk to about days of our lives. Um, Jonathan, how do you feel about Sammy Brady being back? How do you feel about her being back? You know what, cat lady? Why did you like yesterday's episode better than today's episode? That's my question. If it's the fashion, like, okay, so B&B apparently used to have a lot of fashion back in the day, fashion shows and stuff like that. Okay, cool. I'm not knocking the fashion part, but I just want to know why yesterday was better than today. Juan says, Albert, don't Jason Morgan and Carly Spencer talk like an old married couple? Um, in a sense, I guess, yes. Well, technically, so does me and Cat Lady. So, looking forward to seeing what she brings this time. You know, it's funny, Jonathan. I remember when I first started watching the show, and people was so hyped that she was coming back, and I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see this Hurricane Sammy. Hurricane Sammy comes in. She wasn't terrible. She was, I guess, Sammy Brady, but she was a little kind of annoying. And I think I was annoyed a lot because like the Allie storyline was annoying the living shit out of me. And there were certain times that she was meant to take Natalie's side when it was like when she was meant to telling Trip, hey, listen, now that she made a mistake and it's all clear, you probably shouldn't be so upset with her. I'm like, yo, your daughter literally wrecked his life and could have wrecked his career, and she wasn't even too sure if he was telling the truth or not. And you just want him to just forget that just because? So it says all the sexy walking around the fashion, yes, but also no Ashley. Okay. She's so sassy. I love her. Film says out, you gotta remember that Beyond the Gates is the only soap opera and only soap of the current American ones that women lead. It's a different vibe. Yes, exactly, Dominic. And see, that's why I also sat there and I looked at it. I was like, on one point, yes, it was bad. On the other point, I did sit there and look at it and was like, it wasn't gonna resonate with me, you know? Like, I mean, just in general, Dominic, sometimes I do sit there and when I get critical about something, I do recognize that it's not always gonna resonate with you. Like that moment, at the end with Chelsea and talking about Danny and stuff like that, it didn't resonate with me. And it wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to resonate with mothers who have daughters. So I wasn't going to sit there and really kind of get on it. But, I think it was a lack of drama that was missing for me. But Dawn says, I think if Jason and Ava won't get together, maybe finally Jason and Carly. Why would why would Jason and Ava get together? Like, I mean, Duan, why would Ava and Jason get together? What did I miss? Ron, for a hot minute, I thought that EJ was your favorite character. Dominic says, I have tons of respect for you in that regard. You're a consumer, but you also respect when you're not the exact audience. Thank you, Domex. Thank you. No, and I appreciate that, Domex. See, that's the thing, Domex. I try to sit there and look at it from different sides because I was also watching Nikisha, and she said that she liked the episode, but then I realized that Nikisha has a daughter. So she's gonna love that moment. Um, I don't always hit the mark with the whole. It doesn't resonate with me, but I try to in certain situations because I'm not gonna lie, it was it was a little kind of difficult yesterday. Like, see, the thing is, people sat there and thought that I just took the night off. I just wanted a rest night. There wasn't even a rest night. I literally sat there and watched this stuff to 10 o'clock. And I think what annoyed me so much was that Beyond the Gates was the last episode that I watched. So every episode kind of hit in a sense, except for um, that episode. So maybe I was a little extra harsh on it because I'm like, this is how you gonna sit there and do me? Jonathan says, how do you feel about the Natalia and Marco conversation? I'm glad you asked that, Jonathan, because see, I felt something differently than Kyrie did. Apparently, the whole agree to disagree thing kind of went out the window. But I felt that Natalia was, in a sense, the same controlling woman that she always has been, and that didn't change. You know, um, Kyrie came in and basically was saying that she was the same homophobic person that she always is. I didn't look at it that way. Um, But I feel like she's the same control freak that she always has been. Okay, so all I heard out of that was Albert lied to us again. Well, babe, I never actually said that it was arrested. So let's just get that out the way. I never said it was arrested. Wow, I'm a pathological liar. Thank you, Ron. But I was doing the soap operas to 10 o'clock. So I love this woman. There is like Cat Lady. This is why I know it's like I'm always gonna sit there and bring my A game to Cat Lady because like Cat Lady is just so. Plus, I say I'm super close to Grams, and one of my friends from college is a black woman who is a model, just like Keisha. So I sometimes think of how they would feel about stuff like that too. Yeah, exactly, Domex. Yes. Spencer says, I like that Jason is suspicious of Jocelyn. Interesting backstory about Jason that he went there, and I think Christina needs to be locked up in a psych ward. I think she's bipolar like her dad. Hmm. But yeah, my love. Um, that's and again, I'll sit there and say this again. So, cat lady, I need you to sit there and listen. The five soap operas are going to bring more challenges to me doing live streams. So there's going to be times where I may not always be able to do a live stream because I didn't watch all the soap operas. I'm still watching all the soap operas. Like today, I was supposed to watch The Born and Beautiful at 1:30, then it cuts off for a news interruption. So then I got to sit there and watch it at 6. So now I got to sit there and watch it at 6. And then that threw everything else off. So Spencer says, "Do you think it's interesting that Lucky is covering for Christina? I never saw that coming." I would sit there and say it's interesting, but I think it's. I don't think it's interesting. I think it's just makes sense. See, Liz didn't die, so because Liz didn't die, um, it just makes sense for him to be like, what's the point of you going to jail for? Romax says, "How are we feeling?" Oh shit! Hold on. It sounds fun, but part of me feels like it should be a premise for the CW show, not on daytime. I can see that being a CW show. When it's CW is actually fun. Kelly says, so folks, did Albert not say he takes off Tuesdays for rest day since it's a late day for him? Yes, no. Black Ma, you see what I'm sitting there dealing with my sassy queen? Also, she missed the whole point of what I was saying. Oh my lord! I listen. I tell you this much right now. I can't wait. I can't wait for wedding day. Can you seriously? Can you imagine the conversations that we're sitting and have with this woman? Everybody heard me, and that was Cat Lady's takeaway. That was Cat Lady's takeaway. That's amazing. That's Spencer says, do you think Jason is suspicious of Jocelyn, or do you think that he's going to let it go? Oof. If I was a betting man, I would sit there and say that he is suspicious. I don't think he's going to let it go. I don't think he's going to let it go because I felt like there was a point to why he started asking her those line of questionings. There was a point to why she had a look on her face like, does he believe me? So no, I don't. I don't think he's going to let it go. I'm gonna get back to you. I'm gonna get back to your little sassy self in a minute, cat lady. Johnson says Deacon Cobra Kai sharp. Okay, Jonathan. When Deacon comes at Carter, I'm not calling him Deacon. I'm calling him Mike Barnes. Okay, I'm calling him Mike Barnes because that's the only way I'm able to process that level of BS. Because let's be honest, Deacon is out of pocket on all and every front. Deacon is placating to Hope. Okay, Hope wants to hang out with Deacon because Deacon is going to lie to her. But Dolmex, you okay? Dolmex, I'm sorry, Blackman, you got what I said, right? You got what I said about the whole scheduling and the five soap operas. You got what I said, right? As far as how challenging that's going to be. Really, Albert? So you and Cat Lady are engaged. Who is your best man? But yes, that's the only way I'm able to sit there and process the stuff that because he's out of pocket. He is out of pocket, and so is Steffi in a sense. So is Steffi. Domex says I was surprised Dopey Daphne was still talking junk about Hope with Deacon bouncing in that corner like Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat. Part of me sat there was like, so Deacon, what are you gonna do? You're gonna hit her? Are you gonna kick her in the face? Like, what are you gonna do? All he kept saying was, oh, what French lady this and French lady that. And of course, Daphne, I'm not gonna lie, Daphne, I started to gain a monocle of respect for her. Then afterwards, she said that she didn't think too highly of American men. She was like, there was a point where I didn't think too highly of American men. And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, like when she said that shit did kind of like irk me. Oh, 10 o'clock, okay. Well, I'll probably pop up in Carissa's stream around that time. I won't stay though, but the way that's springing back Fizz hit Carter, I wouldn't have tested Deacon if I was Daphne. Well, Dogmax, you know why? Dogmax, you know why she tested him, now, right? You know why, right? We all know why. You know why, right? Wing says still trying to figure out how Deacon will fight Carter, but will never fought. Oh yes, yes, Wayne, yes. I think you either said that in Carissa's stream, but yes, yeah, they're absolutely right. The Thomas who stole Beth. And Lois comes back in and inspected. Yes, Jonathan, yes. That was out of pocket. Well, she needed to come back so soon. Susan said when Sonny told Dante that Rick needs to drive better and Christina nodded and said, yeah. She was guilty as shit. But I also felt like Christina didn't need to sit there and ambush Sonny with that. Ryan, I didn't really care for it. I didn't really care for the Luna and Sheila scenes. Like, they didn't do anything for the episode. I didn't care about Luna, her stupid obsession with Will. I didn't care about Sheila listening to talk about all family matters or, I'm going to be there for you and everything like that because you're still seeing that your granddaughter on the low. So it meant nothing. It was literally just, you know, it was a scene that meant nothing, and I wish I would have talked about it. But again, we have five soap operas, my love. Um, Certain things are going to get lost in the shuffle. Yes, it didn't mean anything. It didn't go anywhere, and it just With all Max, like I said, I don't know if you're on your way to nodding out, but if you're not, you know why she tested him. Oh, we know. Okay, good, 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 good. I still find Daphne annoying. Hope has been trashed too, but I'm over being acting like nothing that happened more than 5 years ago matters. Yes, that's true. That is true. Wayne says, I want Ava to go to Molly. Give me the drama I'm watching for you. Yes, Wayne. Unlike Beyond the Gates, which gave nothing, and then just sat there and said, yeah, no, this is cool. This works out. Mhm. Hmm. Yeah. Maybe it was a trap. I keep saying, I'm gonna do a poll on how many people watch YNR. But I feel like I can probably count on one hand how many people in this chat actually watch YNR. Ed, do you watch YNR? I think that's a no, but Ed says how much longer until you think Brooklyn Seeker is going to come out because Lois really stopped Brooklyn and Dante talking when Brooklyn said she wants to tell Dante something. Way too long for my taste, I'll tell you that much, Ed. Way too long for my taste. I feel like I got another question to ask you, Ed, but I can't remember what it is. Okay, so you do. Good. Ed, not anymore. Okay, so that's one. Wait, if you saw today's episode, what'd you think of it? What'd you think of it? Very, very curious about your thoughts. Yes, Ron, that is correct. I didn't care. You're absolutely right. Kevin says it looks like Liam and Hope and Steffi love triangle. Yay, love triangles. Um, she was giving off wifey energy, and I wasn't feeling that. Then she took like 2 episodes to sit there and say anything to Finn, right? And again, you see this coming. You see Steffi going off half cocked at at Bill. See, Finn was not there trying to read Bill, and Bill wasn't having it. I'm like, listen, I don't want to sit there and say any old school things like, oh, Finn is whipped or anything like that. But like, Finn, you're not there you're coming at Bill for freeing your daughter. Your daughter was not there getting her ass beat every single day, and Bill put a stop to that. And because you're so goddamn afraid of your control freak of her wife, you want to sit there and say, well, I can't believe you sat there and freed her. Did you want your daughter to be unalived in prison? Like, there's certain things that I'll sit there and watch, and they're just like, I know this is a soap opera. This is 18 minutes long, 19 minutes long at best. But there's just things that you're doing, and I'm like, I did pull out a video. Susan said, "Why was Bill at Ben's office?" He said that he went to go visit an old acquaintance, like a business partner. And that's why Bill was there. Bill was there because he went to go sit there and see an old friend. Because that's what Finn was saying. He was like, "Yo, why are you here for?" I'm here to see an old friend. Domex says from Taylor and Steffi confronting Bill about Luna while acting like Taylor never shipped Bill and his own house. While Steffi beginning she got her CO spot from a combination of twerking and Taylor's pettiness. Yes. But see, that's the thing though, right, Dolomitics? Because I could have swore that she sat there and she defended her mother's actions by saying that Oh, well, she was desperate. She didn't know any better. Some dumb shit that Stephanie said. I do remember her because I remember when Bill sat there and said, "Hey, listen, you're not going to say anything about Sheila. If you do, then I will sit there and tell about your mother's crimes." And Steffi had that sad ass, pathetic ass excuse. Of course, Susan. I might not have been able to review it, but I can sit there and talk about it. Was good, Big Nate. They were good except for Beyond the Gates. Beyond the Gates was lacking, but all the other ones is pretty decent. Nate. Wing says when he asked Tracy why her hand was in her pocket, not gonna lie, I thought it was going to be an Ike and Tina. Oh my goodness, Wink. Oh my goodness, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, you know, this chat, if I remember, this members chat, if I remember, I'm gonna sit there and talk about a moment about Jabal and why he was out of line. That's all I'm gonna sit there and say. It's gonna be my little petty moment, but I'll sit there and say it in the memory circle. Domex says Taylor shot him because Steffi grown behind hopped in bed with her father-in-law, and cried about it afterwards. Ridge and Taylor still act like Steffi wasn't wrong. Yeah, they love to sit there and placate their daughter and whatever kind of BS that she comes up with. And then we'll sit there and do a bunch of bootlicking. Good wink. Good. Because I thought about, I'm glad that you actually brought that up. Let me sit there and write this shit so this way I can remember it too. 1 second, Ed. And it says Jordan looked good on juice, but this whole not cooking got to stop. Like, what about cooking for yourself? Says she can throw down. I know it's the wave, but everyone needs to know how to cook. Your that comment is probably for the wrong person. Yeah, that comments for the wrong person. Why does everyone need to know how to cook? I mean, yeah, why does everyone need to know how to cook? How about we just go on that last part? I'm curious about that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just curious about that. 1950s talk. Mm, I just, I think Isaiah was getting a little kind of annoyed with the fact that he had to keep his relationship on the DL. And I'm like, bro, listen, you're still seeing her. What's the problem? Saves money and eating out a lot is not good for your health. You have a point, Ed. You know, Ed, I'm not going to lie. The lazy part of me actually took offense to that. Not saying you're wrong, but the lazy part of me kind of took offense. But I do know how to make some stuff. So Ron says, I would let's see if JJ is going to let's see if JJ is going to question or arrest Gabby since there and supposedly, oh, relationship. Yeah, no, I got that. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Uh, Cat lady, you stop it. Let me start on your sassy ass. Cat lady has been sad. Cat lady has been a bad kitty all goddamn night. And I still love her, but Wing says, I keep DoorDash and business. There you go. That's what I like to hear. That's not true, Darby. I know how to make other things. Um, like pancakes and French toast and some other things that I can't think of right now. As says, I expect everyone to agree. Of course not, Ed. That's why, we always keep the chat, we always try to keep the chat very chill, agree to disagree. Is that in Franks and Beans? That's true. That's true. I've never actually. Okay, that's not true. But the point is, I know how to make some stuff, Darby. And Franks and Beans, that is very true, Wing. Ron says, Albert, go to sleep because it seems like you're sleep talking. Sleep, Ron. Let me tell you something, Ron. You've been on one all night, and I am here for it. You make a mean cup of Moscato. First of all, Moscato is a very good wine, and I highly recommend. If you are a wine person, then yes, it is old school, and it gets the job done. Gets the job done, though. As Filmex is out, have you told them about your legendary bowl of cereal? I heard your secrets. Oh my god. Okay, so Domax is in on a joke too. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, cat lady. If if I'm tired in the morning, I'm gonna blame you. I still love you, but I'm gonna blame you though, cat lady. If I'm tired in the morning, I'm gonna blame you. That's how that's gonna work. It is old school though. Okay, Ron. Um, Ron, I thought we were friends. God damn it, Ron. As says, do you know Olivia's going to slap the taste out of? Do you? Do you? Oh, well, of course, yeah, absolutely. That's the thing though, Ed. Like she's been. See, this is my other thing though. Like, and I sat there and I said this. I was like, this whole secret has just been this retcon and everything. Like, I never really thought too highly of Brooklyn. This shit done made it went to a whole new level. Whoever says from tired in the morning hour, I'm gonna blame. I'm going back to sleep. No, I just blame my love cat lady. Wink says I can recommend you a great Moscato as called. Oh shit. Oh, I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. Hold on. All right, thank you. I still got to get the wine that cat lady told me about 5 years ago. Yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye out for that. Thank you. That was supposed to be the think not no. But yes, no, no, she definitely gonna sit there and slap the shit out of her. Have a good night, Dolomedics. Thank you for coming through. I always appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. So, chat, y'all see why she's gonna be my wifey, right? With a goddamn ring on her finger. Well, I mean, that's one reason. Yes, yes, Darby. That's definitely one reason. Yes, yes. Have a good night, Delaware X. I don't know. Ron says, "Hi, but we are friends. I'm just calling you out on your womanizing ways. Also, you're a playboy. I don't want you hurting Cat Lady's feelings. She deserves respect. You can't have your cake and eat it. Not like you, right, Ron? Ron, you are something else. The position. Who would you want to take over Anna's position? Mac? I would say Dante. If not Mac, I would sit there and say Dante. But let's be honest, Ed. Laura, I don't. I laughed today. I don't know if you saw my review, but I laughed today. Angelique, I love you. You stop it. Um, yeah, I called you by your gov name. Um, if Laura loses her position, that's on her. What's good, Lashanta? Damn, it's been a hot minute. What do you think of your girl Phyllis? Since you actually watched The Young and the Restless, what do you think of your girl Phyllis? Well, now you know you're my girl Angie. Why else my goddamn music at? Fuck me. Laura loses her position, that's on her. Laura wants to sit there and hang out with the local mobster, you know, just and then sit there and look at people like Boyles that essentially want to come for her job, and be like, oh well, he's always meant to trying to. Oh, you know what? Okay, Lashanta, and I can't find recaps. Lashanta, let me tell you something, Lashanta. If I can sit there and come into my job tomorrow morning and say, you know what, kiss my ass, and just not come back and just be a full time YouTuber, I would love to do that. Then I can recap all five of the soap operas. I could say that with full confidence because I know they would never sit there and listen to that. Um, Johnson says the Titan takeover of the marriage should be interesting. Gabby may not be may not have too much of a problem with it as long as she keeps her position. Well, yes, Gabby is about Gabby, but it happens so fast though. It happens so goddamn fast. Laura is the most disappointing character. She took Esme's side. She didn't visit Elizabeth in the hospital. She didn't go to see Sam's funeral. Yeah, I. You know what? Fuck it. Let me sit there and let me. Where is that at? I'm not talking about you, Albert. Nobody's recapping it. No, I know, Lashanta, I know, but I just want to make a point, even if it wasn't about you. There we go. There we go. That looks good. That looks like butter. Well, Lashanta, that's not true. There's a woman, there's a girl named YNR Recap. I mean YNR Recap no, YNR Chat with Abby. YNR that was her name. YNR Chat with Abby. She's literally like, there we go. Damn. Wow. Okay. Okay, Ron. Subtle. Johnson says, I still think Little Rachel may be the culprit behind EJ's. I need to sit there and talk. There's somebody else who watches this soap opera. I need to sit there and share my theory with her. Spider Quake says, I saw Cindy back. Do you think she's gonna rip into Bell? How yes, she's going to rip in Bell. She's going to rip in a Bell like there is no tomorrow, Spider Quake. So brace yourself for that one. LaShanta says Alexis better make Christy confess. That's Ace money. Shit, that's not gonna happen. But yes, as says Lulu can cry me a river. Complain to Dante about your feelings that he has a son. Chase blackmailing is weak. Let me tell you something, Ed. I think that Lulu needs. See, the thing is, um, what was I was gonna say? I would call his bluff. Ed. I would sit there and call his bluff if I was Lulu. Because I'm like, at this point, Chase, you also abusing your power. And I'm pretty sure Eternal Affairs will be very interested into what Chase is doing. Because this is not the first time that Chase has sat there and abused his power. Lashanta says Carter got hands. Yes, Lashanta. Carter held his own against Mike Barnes. Okay, and that's what I'm calling him at this point. I'm calling him Mike Barnes. So I want you to be the first person to learn the lingo. So, Albert, why will Sammy be mad? I don't know the history. I know. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Spider Quake, Sammy and EJ were married for a while. And even though that they're not married anymore, she still wouldn't like the idea that her sister is making a play for her ex-husband. Like it's very selfish of Sammy, but she wouldn't like the fact that her sister is they're trying to be with EJ because this isn't the first time that that's wound up happening. She's it's very quick in a sense. She's kind of like Carly. She even if she's not with Jason, she doesn't want somebody else to be with Jason. That's how she used. That's how Sammy's approach is with EJ. Do you know Andre Apsey does? Yes, I do. Yeah, Ron. I know Andre Apps. I haven't actually checked out his channel in a while, so I may do that. Thank you, Ron. Sammy versus Bella is cool, but Sammy versus Carrie, her other sister was good TV. I came to it later, but when I got to watch it was good. Yeah, I mean, I would take your word for that. I mean, also because, like all the other soap operas had, I heard that Days of Our Lives is way better than it is now. But it's weird though, right? Because you're watching it on Peacock as opposed to it being on NBC. Susan said there's a channel named Soul Corner Talks. Yes, Soul Corner Talk that reviews YNR, B&B, and Beyond the Case. Yes, it's actually very true. And thank you. I gotta sit there and check up on them. Or as my beautiful queen says, stalk them. Stop it. I love her, so I'm not going to argue with her. Okay, I don't need to hear my own voice. Thank you. Speaking of stalking, LaShanta says Sonny caught that look between Sitwell and the tech. Yeah, and then he questioned her afterwards. Yeah. Firequick says, talking about Beyond the Gates, I like that cat. I feel that people give her too much hate. Like, she knows. They give her hate because she's very. My whole thing is like, I like Eva, but Cat's not wrong. The problem is, though? She comes across very snobbish. She's kind of like a female Spencer. And so, like, even if Cat is right, she just. Okay, I'm gonna get back to Kyrie in a second. But it's because of her smugness. Her not so much her smugness. Her I can't remember the word. She's like Spencer in the fact that she comes across as very bougie. And so she just has this attitude where even if Eva is wrong, thank you, Susan. Thank you. Yeah, she comes across as thank you. She comes across as very entitled. So it's like, even though we know that Eva in a sense is wrong, Cat comes across as so goddamn annoying. At from an emotional standpoint, we just don't care. We just don't fucking care. And her little entitled attitude, the way she talks down to people, it's so goddamn annoying to sit there and watch. Like, even when she was there talking to why am I going back up for it? Even when she was there going at Leslie, when she was talking to Leslie, she wasn't talking to Leslie. She was talking down to her. And yes, is Leslie wrong? Absolutely. But she didn't like Kat didn't talk to her like she was talking to her an equal. She didn't talk to her like she was not there respecting her elders. She talked down to her when she said, Eva, you're in my seat. Yes. Thank you, Susan. Like some rich bully or something. Like that, I'm not gonna lie, that shit irked the living shit out of me. Run, 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 run. How can you even say that Belle is in love with EJ? First of all, she doesn't know the meaning of love. That's obsession. EJ is just using her to get back the day job. You're right, Ron. I mean, I get it, Ron. You think you have a very low opinion of Eva, so I mean, you have a very low opinion of Belle, so it doesn't seem like it matters what I say. You think how you think, and that's fine. Um, but I don't know, Ron. That's how I think, and that's how I'm putting my foot on it. As says Belle is Sammy's karma because she never had a problem going after Carrie's. Man, Austin, but Carrie got her back when getting with Rafe before Austin and Carrie got back together. Hmm. Katie Cat Richardson, huh? Katie Cat Richardson. Natalia got two gay sons. Why was she so against Blaze? Um, I don't know. I guess in a sense, she felt that she couldn't save her brother, and she felt like, hey, if I can't save my son, then I can try to save my daughter. Now, uh, Darby had an opinion about it that people will probably consider controversial, but you know. So, like Craig says, Abra is me, or is this Xander and Philip takeover makes no sense just because one man betrayed Kristen. Now they gotta take over the marriage. It's not about that. It's like I think with Xander, he feels in the sense that he wants to take over his father's legacy. See, um, Victor, his father, always wanted to take over the mirror, and he feels like he's trying to fulfill some sort of thing that that his father couldn't do. Oh, I absolutely did. I didn't throw you under the bus, Darby. I said it directly. I said that you had a controversial view on Natalia in that situation. I didn't throw you under the bus. I said it clear. I said it clear as day. I wasn't being disrespectful or being a dick about it. So you're welcome. Could I respect you? Slyquake says, and will this even stick once Xander finds out Phil is lying? I mean, I think at that point, once Xander finds out that Philip is lying, he'll just kick him out the company. I don't know how he would actually kick him out the company, so that'd actually be a good question. Oh, I am too. I am too. I mean, I'm not teasing, but I'm joking though. I feel like I can say something about that comment. I'm not going to. Um, Square says my thing is to me, it doesn't make sense how they got the company after that happened. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that didn't make any sense by Quake because there's a point where they walk into Gabby's office, and Gabby's like, "What are you doing in my office?" And they're like, "What are you talking about? Your office? This is our office." So yeah, it happened hella fast. Johnson says, I know Xander will find out the truth about the letter eventually, but I personally hope he doesn't because Xander. I do like the friendship between the two, Jonathan. Yes, I agree. We know that's not going to happen, but I do like the friendship. It was, Susan. It was hella. It was hella. Uh, it was hella fast. I would say. Yeah, I forgot to sit there and say that in the review ad. I just, the thing is, Ed, I don't really understand how that works. See, my whole thing is, it happened so fast, I thought I missed something. Like there was a missing scene, right, Susan? That's how Days does it sometimes. It was only 31 minutes today, right? That was another selling point of why I watched it first. Um, I do, Ed, I don't understand how. First of all, if we really go back to the beginning, Laura only actually one being a mayor because of Spencer and his temper. But my whole thing is like Laura wants to sit there and try to be the true blue, true blue friend to Sonny. But I'm like, you're in a different position now. You are the mayor. Sonny has been constantly saying, "Hey, listen, if you need to distance yourself from me, I would understand." How are you still friends with the local mobster? you know. See, my whole thing is like I sat there and I said a long time ago that Laura was an idiot. Now, somebody in my chat had a problem with that, and they shall remain nameless. But I always thought that Laura was out of pocket the minute that she started hanging out with um the minute she started sitting there giving a lot of attention and giving a lot of support to Esme. The minute that she started sitting there hanging out with Cyrus, the person who put her little girl into a coma, and that person that had sat there and said, but because they're a family. I get that, Spider Quake, but from a public standpoint, you can't be hanging out with the local mobster. I get that point, and there are certain things that you can't sit there and distance yourself from as far as the connection, but you can sit there and not be having dinner or breakfast or God knows what they're having in an open room in the middle of the room with the local mobster. There's certain shit that you can do, and again, this does not explain. And I feel like I feel like Cat Lady is being um she's being cute. Yeah, she's being cute. There's a point though hiding from. I get that point too, Spikewick, but come on, broski. You know damn well that she should not be hanging out with. Why not our government do it all the time? I love you, my queen. Are you? Are you trolling me right now? Are you trolling me right now? Listen, I can listen. I know when to pull the Steve Harvey move, and with my cat lady. But are you trolling me right now? Ed, it's going to be a good scene tomorrow. I can tell you that much. It's definitely going to be a good scene tomorrow. Um, we talked about that in the beginning, and I'm not going to lie, I kind of forgot why. Like, because I sat there and I said, and I was like, um, why does Natalia need to sit there and tell Sunny that she was married to Sitwell? Like, bro, you're not in a relationship with her. Why does that matter? Like, why is that like a sticking point? That's true. That's true. Yes, Kelly, that's true. But you know, Cat Lady, you are one interesting woman. You're one interesting woman, Cat Lady. I love you. You're an interesting woman. I mean, I don't. It's very quick. I don't understand why he's having so much of a meltdown because of it. That's my issue. I'm like, bro, you're not in a relationship with her. Why do you feel that she needs to sit there and tell you about her her history with you? Somebody said there was a reason why, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot why. Dude, because it was his enemy with death, and she knows that. Dude, Sitwell is his enemy. How? Sonny doesn't know for sure that Sitwell firebombed his place. So until that's actually confirmed, Sitwell is not really Sonny's enemy. And like Sitwell said, Sitwell came in and said, you know what, listen, I need you here. Because if you're here, then you maintain order and that works for me in my business. So and we don't and the thing is, Cat Lady, I remember what you said. You said Sitwell was the person that firebombed Sonny's place. But we don't know that for sure. Not 100%, right? Yeah, and I did sit there and say that a while ago that, Sonny needs to sit there and think about his health. Because the thing with Sonny is that Sonny is not there postponing the surgery to protect his family. But you can't protect anything if you are dead. Spoiler Quick says well Sonny and Natalia are close and Seth was an enemy. But again, Sewell tried to kill Lucky, Jason, and Anna. He kidnaps Sasha. He comes and tries to take over everything. Allegedly. Allegedly. Sonny doesn't know that. Okay, maybe you have a point. Never mind. Hold on. Did she just call me boy? Sitwell came after him for the diamonds bag. That's before the bombing. Well, first of all, I'm a man. Let's just get that out the way. Let's just whew. Okay. Um, came at Jason. Actually, he came at Sasha, and Jason came there to save Sasha. So in a way, Sitwell didn't come after Sunny. He came after Sasha for the diamonds, and Jason just happened to be there. So, and I remember you sitting there saying that was your theory, Cat Lady. That was your theory. And theories and proof is something a little different. Like Quick says, Albert, only allegedly thing is the firebomb and everything else. The shot that says Sunny close to plus. He's after Sunny's peer. He after Sunny's peers. That's true. Yes, he is after Sunny's peers. Yeah. Susan says Brick should do background checks on anyone getting close to Sunny. I mean, she went to LA with him. Why didn't they look? That's true. That's true. And I get what you're saying, Spider Quick. You're not exactly wrong, but Sitwell came after Sasha. Sitwell did not come after Jason. Jason decided to sit there and drag his ass into a situation that wasn't really his biz. And I have no idea. Who would I want? I would have to think about that. I don't actually have an answer for that. Um, who would I want to be? That's a good question. What would I want? What would I want? Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that one, Ed. I'm gonna give you a good answer. Elias says Holly told Sitwell Sonny had the diamonds. That's why Jason had the diamonds to give back. AKA Sitwell So well, no, Sonny's dumbest. And let me ask you. Okay, let me ask you a question. Who do you think? Who would you want to be the person to execute? Baby girl, I think you kind of forgot about the time that I remembered somebody Monique's comment. So that's who you. I'm going with Sophia or Johnny. Wait, and why Sophia? Johnny, I understand, but why Sophia? LaShanta says he invested in deception and Sonny's involved. Okay, you know what? Maybe you have a point. Okay, I can see where your marriage comes from. Okay, LaShanta, you got a point. Angelique, my memory is actually good. Um, I think my memory is human. Oh my god, I'm gonna straighten your ass out in the next couple of months. I'm gonna straighten your ass out. Uh, oh, the adoption not going through. Okay, I've been so focused on not giving a shit about the adoption that I didn't actually think about that. She's so bad. Kelly is such a bad girl. There's other things I can say about that, and I'm not going to. But yes, that's true. That's true. I don't know. I mean, part of me does sit there and just feel like Sunny is kind of overreacting, but I can also sit there and see your points of views for that though too. Dave says, "Did I miss anything worthy on GSA? I wasn't able to watch. I was out." Dave, no, just watch my review. Dave, I always sit there and say, "Watch my review." If you watch my review, I think you'll be pretty caught up. So yeah, watch my review. My review will definitely. What else my damn phone at? Oh, some of my pages. No, Dave, no, watch my review. Yeah, trust me, 60 minutes will catch you up pretty fast. That she was when she told Tate that EJ was shot. I just, I don't know. I know they're trying to. Oh no, you go, Susan. Well, like my whole thing is like, I mean, does anyone actually? I mean, the thing is, does anyone actually care about the adoption part? Does anyone actually care about the adoption part? I don't know. I'm just having a hard time actually giving a shit about it. I think that's my whole thing. Susan says that part is stupid, but you ask who. That part is stupid, but you ask who we thought shot EJ. Oh, okay, yeah, I did. Yeah, it's a tough one. And today I thought it was Mr. Shen. I mean, at this point, that's the thing about racism. We make so many enemies; it could just literally be anyone. My question is honestly no. Just have Tate and Sophia raise the big. I 100% agree with that. Spike big. Really, I really do. Lashanta says, I bet Luna. I bet Luna sit that beat down. Oh, have that beat down with Electra. I mean, I don't know. Electra's from Texas, and women from Texas don't play that. Women from Texas don't play that. I'll tell you that. It's like women from Philly. Okay, women from Philly, they don't play. I bet. I bet Luna. Sent that beat down. Set that beat down up. Oh, in jail. I bet Luna set. Oh, well, yes. Yeah, I mean, there was one. Yes. Oh, set up that beat down. There's always a possibility. Yes, there was always a possibility. There's reasons why I'm sitting there shaking my head. And I'm not going to sit there and say what it is, but there's reasons why I'm sitting there shaking my head. I'll probably sit there and give, yeah. All right, fuck me. I'm gonna sit there and end the stream here because I do gotta wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Hopefully not, but 5:30 if I'm able to watch the Restless tonight. So I'm gonna end the stream here. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll sit there and yeah, I love you too, my love. But I will be sitting there watching. I will be sitting there back streaming tomorrow, the usual time, 8 p.m. Eastern, fucking Pacific. We'll talk about all five of the shows. You know what they are. You know what time. Come on. Uh, yes. Have a good night, everyone. Have a good night, my gorgeous Queen Cat Lady. Have a good night, Queen Jess. Have a good night, Susan. Have a good night, Lashanta. Have a good night, Ed. Have a good night, Spiderquake. Um, have a good night, Jonathan. Have a good night, Dolomex. Have a good night, Darby. Everybody else, you know who you are. I'll sit there and see you on tomorrow's stream. Oh, DMV, my bad. Yeah, I've been on for like 2 hours and some change, and I gotta wake up early, and I want to watch the Restless before I go to bed. So, but I'll be back tomorrow, though, DMV. So we'll chop it up tomorrow. Later's.